Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before I start, I just want to say thank you so much for the support over the last week or so. I've gained quite a few subscribers, so I want to say hello and thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying my content enough to subscribe, really. So today I have another 10 must-have PlayStation 3 games. However, these are all, I think, for less than 20 quid. So today we have another 10 games for less than 20 quid. All of these games collectively will cost less than 20 quid on the PlayStation 3. And to be honest, the amount of content and the amount of hours you can get played on these is insane. So if you like this content, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe if you are new, and yeah, let's get into it. So to me, I think these PlayStation 3 games are staples in any collection. They offer so much value for how much they cost, and some of them actually could do with a remaster, if I'm honest with you. So we'll start off with this one, which is Dead Island. This is the Game of the Year edition. As you can see, at some point this cost £2, and it took, how long did it take to get Dead Island 2? Like 12-13 years. Yeah, if you haven't played the first Dead Island, there's not much I can say. It's a really good zombie game. It's renowned for how good it is, and as far as I'm aware, you can get a PS4 version, which I think is both Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide together. So maybe go for that one if you can, if you have a PS4. If not, Dead Island Game of the Year edition comes with all the DLC, and it's a great game. One I'd recommend highly. The next one, to be honest, you can get any of these, but I went for Batman Arkham Asylum, and in my opinion, I don't think the Batman games get enough recognition. I think the storylines and the combat in these games are fantastic, and I can't remember whether it was this one or not, but you have the Scarecrow in one of the levels, and when I was a kid, that was terrifying. That was terrifying. Like, I'm just gonna hold my hands up, I was scared. But yeah, it's a great series of games. I think they get overlooked quite a bit, I really do. But if you haven't played any of the Batman games, I would give them a massive recommendation. Fantastic series. There's a few on the PS4. I think I only have Arkham Knight on the PS4. But yeah, Batman on the PS3. So many hours played, so many hours you can get from, like, how much was it? £1.50. £1.50. Outrageous. Next up we have the second one in the series, and it's Bloodstone 007. So it's slightly different to Quantum of Solace because it doesn't follow any film adaptation, so it is just a standalone 007 with Daniel Craig. It's made from Activision, so it has like COD mechanics from back in the day, so like I'm assuming like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3-esque era. The story is really good on this. You get to play as James Bond. Again, it's another story game, but you just get a lot for your money. I think this will run you maybe £5, something like that, from memory. But yeah, I think 007 games nowadays especially get overlooked, but this one and Quantum of Solace are heavily regarded, and to be honest, I think it is it's worth it. It really is. 100%. 007 Bloodstone, fantastic game. So all these games obviously are complete with manuals, blah blah blah. So we have the theme apparently today is franchises, and franchises we haven't really seen much of recently. You've got Dead Island, Bloodstone, 007 games, you've got the Batman games, and now we have Fear, and the first Fear at that, and they just hit the nail on the head with psychological combat gameplay. And to me, I would love for these games to have a remaster. I really would. I know 3's not renowned to be great, but you know, it's personal preference. I think the whole franchise is pretty good. Yeah, they haven't had a reboot or a remaster or anything since the last one came out, which I'm like, what, 14 years ago, 13 years ago? Yeah, that's a long time. And if you like your horror games, if you like your psychological games, brilliant stuff. If you haven't played Fear, any of them, by all means, pick one up. I think Fear is around £5. Fear 2 is the cheap one, it's not the best one, and Fear 3 is around sort of £5 to £10 again. They're all cheap games, they really are. And Fear is a massive recommendation from me because I do love the franchise. Now, my next one might be a little bit, but to me, if you are into your sports, into your football or anything like that, FIFA Street is the game to pick up. To me, I would never recommend another FIFA game in my life, because, especially on the PS3, because they don't hold up. They're not great. The only thing you'll get is like nostalgia of seeing the squads and the players back then. For gameplay wise, FIFA Street is great. You've got this one and FIFA Street 3 on the PS3, and it was great. It goes back to like the PlayStation 2 games of FIFA Street 2, and they were amazing. They were so good when they came out. They really were. Like, you can just do your 5v5, I think 5v5 matches on this, and then you just, with all the skills and everything, it's great. The gameplay is great and it still holds up, and yeah, it's the only FIFA game that I will ever recommend anybody to buy. I think this cost at some point £4. I'm not sure what the price is, to be honest, now, but yeah, £4 for this, not bad. I like to throw in a little bit of everything. You've got stories, you've got horrors, a bit of sports, bit of racing, because I think all the genres on the PS3 are fantastic. They really are, and they are well represented, so you can choose whatever you wanted. But these are my staples and my go-tos recommendations, really. So coming in, another one, which I know we've had a new one announced or released recently, and I don't think it did too well. Finite Champion is regarded as the best boxing game in the last 15 years. That's literally it. Like, it is. The gameplay mechanics and the story, there is a story mode on this, and it is pretty fun. It's just a good fighting boxing game. If you like your boxing and you're into your boxing, Finite Champion, fantastic. I think now it's only about £6, £7, something like that, especially from CEX. I can't remember how much I even paid for this. Oh, I've got a receipt, hang on, let's have a little look, shall we? We paid £6, there you go. £6 for this. The case is battered to high heaven, but £6. Yeah, boxing. I like my boxing, I do. Not as much as I did when I was younger, but the game holds up really well today, and it's a high recommendation on my list. Now, this might be a bit of a controversial one, but the Resident Evil 5, you can get the HD version on PS4. You can, and to be fair, could be a recommendation. However, I have the normal Resident Evil 5 on the PlayStation 3. I'd like to get the gold edition just for the DLC. It's not the best Resident Evil by far, but the thing that I think they did really well, and they hit the nail on the head, was the co-op mode. Coming home after school and just playing the campaign with your friends, to me that sold this game. It did, and if it wasn't for that, I think this would fly by the wayside 100%. But they did that right, and they did that well. So in my opinion, they went down co-op route and thought, yep, that's it. Everything else can just go. But it was a good game. I won't say it's amazing. It's a good game. It's cheap. If you like Resident Evil, I think it's a staple and a needs must. It's far better than Resident Evil 6, but I think anybody can tell you that. So yeah, Resident Evil 5, great game. Some people may say otherwise, but all of these are complete with manuals. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now this is a series I think that could do with a remaster, or not a reboot, a remastered collection. This is the Resistance series, and I believe this is a launch title for the PlayStation 3 when that came out in Europe. If you haven't played the Resistance series, I would highly recommend it. Going through 1 to 3, there's 3 in the series. The combat's pretty good. It's a heavily story-based game. When it first came out, I think it got pretty good praise. Now I think it just falls by the wayside just a little bit. People forget the Resistance series, but to me it holds a little place in my heart, and it's a series that I would recommend. You can buy all 3 for like less than a £5. All 3 games, I think, for less than a £5. This is £1, and I didn't buy this that long ago because I couldn't find the case. £1. I think 3 is probably the most expensive at £3.50. Yeah, highly recommend them. If you haven't played them, go out, buy them. £1, £2, whatever they are. Just, yeah. So my last pick is The Army of Two. You have, I believe, 3 in this series. This is the second one. I don't own the first one apparently. I have this one and Devil's Carcel. I've played this one. I haven't played 1 or 3, so go figure how I ended up on playing the second one first. But here we are. It's sort of in between your Battlefields and your Modern Warfares. But it's not like a Modern Warfare clone or a Battlefield clone. I think it does stand alone quite well. The storyline's very good in them. In the one I played, which is the second one, it's fantastic. They are highly recommended from quite a lot of people I speak to. This third one is gone up in price. Great English. Has gone up in price. I think it's like £15 now. But this one, again, will set you back a few quid, and you get so much hours worth of content. It's just amazing how much value for money you get from the PlayStation 3 system in 2024. It's outrageous. I might do like a PlayStation 3 retrospective video, just to go through why it's actually worth picking up or playing a PlayStation 3 in 2024. But today, ladies and gentlemen, these are my picks for another 10 must-have PlayStation 3 games in your collection. I think these are full staples. They're quite series driven. You know, you can pick up one, then pick up the rest if you like them. Yeah, I think if you have these in your collection, you're gaming. You're doing really well, and all of these are cheap. They are. I think you can pick these up for less than 20 quid for like the whole. I think there's 9 there. You get hours upon hours upon hours of content. You do, and these will keep you going for a long time. Let me know in the comment section down below what pickups, what games you would suggest to be staples in any collection on the PS3. These are only another 9, I think, another 9 or 10 in my collection. Let me know what you think about my selection down below in the comments below. I think that's everything for this one, so enjoy your day, enjoy whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves, guys.